We are working with a 5-game NHL slate tonight, and the riveting Rotowire duo of AJ Scholz and Paul Bruno are here to take us on a majestic journey through their favorite DFS and sportsbook plays. So, AJ, who's your favorite skater to pay up for?
Well, I'm going to look outside the Edmonton duo only because we've just talked about them all the time. And you could make an argument, even with both of them coming at over 9,000 to use them. Like, the argument's there to be made at that heavy price tag. So outside of those guys, I really like Max Pacioretty tonight at 7,300. He's on a 3-game point streak since returning from injury, including a goal and an assist on the power play. Arizona is going to roll with Vejmelka tonight, who has been actually good in his last 2 outings, but we should look at the early part of the season when he's playing a bit of a heavier load, went winless in 12 straight games. I think it's a good opportunity to stack the Golden Knights tonight.
Yeah, Paul, I'm looking at the salaries here. McDavid, Draisaitl above 9K. Then there's that big drop-off to Kyle Connor at 7.9.
You know what, Emerson? Yesterday, my partner and I were in sync on a Florida stack, and it paid off for all our listeners. And today, we're in sync on the Vegas thing. But let me also talk about that Seattle-Edmonton game. The Oilers make their first ever visit to the home of the Kraken tonight, and I say, no way do I go after them because I expect the visitors to be without 4 regular defensemen. So I'm giving the hardworking home side a real shot here to not only hold the Edmonton Oilers in check, but maybe even win the game. So I'm not going to touch the Edmonton big guns, but I'm all over the Golden Knights, as AJ suggested. This is definitely a true stack opportunity for me. They face an offensively challenged Arizona club that's only scored 13 goals in the last 7 games, and we have seen the return of Mark Stone. He's priced at $5,800, and Max Pacioretty priced at $7,300 to their first line roles after spending time on the IR recently, and both of them came back and are scoring a cartload of points. And paired with Chandler Stevenson, who's been almost a point-a-game guy without them in your lineup, Stevenson comes in at $5,100. That's a pretty cheap stack for their top line, and I think they're going to have a big night against a vulnerable opponent.
Favorite DFS value play? Who is it, Paul?
Well, Calgary's on a California trip, and they have often stumbled out there on the left coast in recent years. And tonight they face a very different-looking Anaheim club that's been pairing a stingy defense with a much better offense than we've seen in recent seasons. So I really like the home side tonight, and I also factor in the fact that the Flames are on a second of back-to-backs. And so I think this is an opportunity to go to the home side and take a look at their top line center who's leading the rookies in scoring this year. That's Trevor Zegras. He's asserted himself as the top 6 forward, and because he's playing on home ice, they've done a real good job of keeping him away from the top checkers opponents bring every night. So he's been a point-a-game guy at the hottest center, and I say he has a chance to build on that given the matchup tonight, and he's only coming in at $4,300. So I think it's a great value there. Another cheap but productive player that I'm also considering is the Devils' Andreas Johnson, who costs only $3,700, despite the fact he scored 9 points in his last 10 games. And he's finally getting a run on a scoring line situation. I haven't seen this for him since he's turned pro, and I'm happy to see it because this guy's an uber-skilled player, and confidence is such a big part of his game, and he's playing at the top of his level right now. And I say he continues this streak against the Devils tonight.
AJ, need some value.
Well, in addition to that Golden Knights game, I actually really like the Rangers matchup tonight with San Jose. The Sharks played last night, so they're going to be a little bit tired, obviously. So I'm going to go heavy on New York, and that includes Alexis Lafreniere at 2,700. His production this year has been spotty at best. That's why he's so cheap. But he's still seeing opportunities with that number 2 power play group. I wish the shot total was a little bit higher, so he doesn't really have a floor. So you're really, really just playing the matchup here. But at under 3K, I think it's a good spot to be in.
All right, dudes. Puck line or money line bet tonight? AJ, start us off.
Well, I'm going to look at the puck line here. You can snag Edmonton to cover at plus 180. I know Paul mentioned the problems on defense there, but that's just too good of value to get on a team that is that high-powered in terms of the offense. I'm really not sure why on the money line you're seeing Edmonton at only minus 130 against Seattle. I really think that should be further apart. So for me, to get plus 180 on the Oilers to cover is just too good a value to pass up.
Okay, you got any good value that's too good to pass up, Paul?
Well, I think I got to take a bet with AJ to win some value there. But I spoke of the vulnerability of the Oilers missing so many key guys in their blue line, and I don't trust their goalies. So I should it shouldn't surprise you that I think that Seattle has a real shot to win this game, and I'm going to go to the plus 110 bet for them tonight. And similarly, I like the Ducks to hold off the Flames. I made that case earlier, and it's the second of back-to-backs for the visitors. So I take another home dog to win here as well and pay off at plus 105.
Game total, Paul.
Oh, this is the stuff that I love. You know it, Emerson. I see the Knights going off in Arizona tonight, so I go to my favorite prop, the alternate goal line of over 6.5 goals for a 125 payout. I just expect the big guns to fire early and often against the suspect defense and goaltending of the hapless Coyotes. And I feel similarly about a high-scoring affair in Anaheim with these prolific offenses, both averaging more than 3.25 goals per game. So I take my chances, and I think they're going to trade chances tonight. So I go to the alternate line again for that prop of 6.5. I think it's going to go over that number for a 135 payoff there as well.
Okay, AJ, need a game total.
Yeah, the Rangers have really utilized Igor Shesterkin to a lot of success this year, but with the talent on offense they have, I think 5.5 in that game is just too low. So I'll take the over here at minus 105. I also think it's worth looking at Edmonton on the over pretty much every single night. I mean, especially if you're with Paul and think that, Seattle's going to be in this game, then they almost have to be heavy offense to match up with Edmonton. So the total sitting at 6, you can play the push if you want, or look at the alternate lines. I will mention, if you're with me and not Paul on Edmonton winning this one, you can look at the game parlays, can get Edmonton to cover that puck line and go over 6.5 at plus 475. That's really good value. Paul, I'll take that bet with you, but I don't take loonies. I only take American dollars here.
Oh, love it. So, AJ, let's see how you're feeling about a player prop.
Well, I mean, I'll start by mentioning Lafreniere. Like, if you're going to use him in DFS, you can get him at plus 270 tonight. Might as well. And then same strategy with Max Pacioretty. Like, I really think this is a good spot for him to pick up a goal here. He's plus 140. But really, that would just be my general recommendation to everybody out there. If you're going to use a guy in DFS, you might as well look at him on the goal total props as well.
Paul, which player prop you putting a bunch of loonies on, dude?
I started off today by highlighting the DFS stack on the Knights top line in Arizona tonight. So I'm going to go back to that well and picking Max Pacioretty and Mark Stone as two of my favorites to score a goal and pay off at plus 140 and plus 200 respectively. And I don't always do this, but I'm going to take a shot at a guy who's been in a slump. I'm also going to suggest Mika Zibanejad of the Rangers, who's been among the league's top goal scorers for the last couple of years. He's mired in a 10-game goalless slide, and I think I'm going to sprinkle some stardust on him and see that he gets a goal against San Jose and pays off at plus 125.